Every human society ever studied, every tribe, every kingdom, every village on every continent, independently discovered a way to poison itself on purpose. Alcohol, tobacco, hallucinogens. Something. That's not a coincidence. That's a clue. So why would evolution allow a behavior that shortens lives and clouds judgment to survive in every population on Earth? The answer starts, strangely enough, with a gazelle. When a gazelle spots a lion, it doesn't always run. Sometimes it does something bizarre. It jumps straight up, again and again, in plain view of the predator. Biologists call it stotting. And for decades, nobody could explain why an animal would waste energy showing off to the thing trying to eat it. The best explanation: the jump is a message. It says, "I'm so fast I can waste time jumping and still outrun you." A slow gazelle can't afford to bluff. The lion would catch it instantly. Only a genuinely fast gazelle can afford the risk. That's what makes the signal honest. This idea has a name: the Handicap Principle. Across the animal kingdom, costly, risky, even dangerous displays exist specifically because they're costly. A peacock's tail, a bird's booming call that attracts predators. Only a genuinely strong, healthy animal can afford the burden. So the burden becomes proof. Now here's the leap. Some scientists argue humans never lost this instinct. We just changed the props. 10,000 years ago, you proved your worth by standing up to a predator or a rival. Today, the same ancient wiring drives us toward other kinds of risky, costly displays. Think about traditions built entirely around costly generosity or pain. In some Pacific Northwest cultures, status wasn't won by hoarding wealth. It was won by giving enormous amounts of it away in front of witnesses. Only someone genuinely wealthy could afford to lose that much and still be fine. Or think about tattoos, long before antiseptic existed. A permanent mark cut into skin was painful and genuinely dangerous. Infections killed people. So a tattooed person was silently announcing two things: I can endure pain, and I'm strong enough to survive the risk of infection. Now apply that same logic to a bottle, a cigarette, or a burning drink passed around a fire. Getting through the coughing fit of a first cigarette, or staying upright after a first hangover, sends an unconscious signal. I'm tough enough to survive this poison, and the poison is what makes the message believable. This isn't a new habit invented by modern vice. The oldest surviving legal code on Earth, carved in stone in ancient Babylon almost 4,000 years ago, already included rules regulating tavern houses. Humans were formalizing their relationship with intoxicants before writing itself had even matured. And it gets stranger the further back you look. Archaeologists studying an ancient Central American civilization found painted vases depicting a bizarre ritual. High-status figures receiving intoxicating substances, not by drinking them, but through ceremonial enemas, administered publicly by attendants. It sounds shocking, but it fits the same pattern. It required help from others, witnesses to the act. It bypassed the body's natural defenses, making the effect stronger and the risk higher. In other words, it was a harder, more convincing way to prove you could survive the ordeal. So across deserts, jungles, islands, and icy tundras, completely disconnected cultures kept arriving at the same basic idea. Survive something dangerous in front of others, and you earn status. The substance almost didn't matter. The risk was the entire point. Here's the twist, though. For a gazelle, Stotting works because it's still net positive. A fast gazelle loses nothing real by jumping. A peacock's tail is a burden, but it still helps him attract a mate more than it costs him in survival. The math for animals actually balances out. For humans and chemical abuse, the math stopped balancing a long time ago. The ancient instinct got hijacked by something animals never had to deal with at this scale: chemical addiction. The gazelle can stot every day for years and never become dependent on jumping. We don't get that same deal. That's why the same instinct that once meant standing up to a predator now shows up in cigarette ads, liquor billboards, and energy drink commercials, all quietly appealing to the oldest part of our brain that still whispers, "Do the risky thing, and you'll look strong." The instinct that built the gazelle's leap and the peacock's tail is the same instinct behind the first cigarette and the first drink ever offered around a fire. It once proved something true. Somewhere along the way, for us, it stopped proving anything at all, except that the instinct is a lot older than the poison. If this changed how you think about a habit you thought was purely modern, subscribe. Human nature is full of instincts hiding in plain sight, and we're only getting started.